What's good, YouTube? It's the Base God and Yu-Gi-Oh! Here on TeamBlackRainbow's channel, coming at you guys with part 3 of my prediction of the September 2012 ban list. As you can see, I'm on the Konami site, and if you haven't noticed, they've pretty much changed it up. It looks much nicer. I'll even show you guys, news or the homepage pretty much. This is how it looks. Looks kind of cooler. Hopefully they can, update the event page much better and give us proper gameplay and all that goodness. But this, like I said, this is about the ban list, so let's go to the currently semi-limited cards. That means they are at 2. As you can see, you have Archlord Christia, Tengu, Smoke Signal, E-Telly, and Trenchel. Some of the big hot ones that came off and moved up and down and whatever from the last ban list. But yeah, so the first card I want to talk about is TG Striker. I just really want to see this card back at 2 because the only reason why they even limited this and Earth was because in the OCG, TG agents were pretty much dominating the meta. And right now, I don't think that deck can do as well as it did last time, just because with the new decks out and new play styles, and I really would like to see TG Striker back at 2 because it not only helps out TGs but also helps out TG agents, and if you really want, you could splash in the TG engine in anything. And I heard TG gadgets are really good as well with it, because you can special, normal, and then ultimate offering. That's pretty overpowered if you were to ask me. And it's a free splashable tuner. 2 abusable at 3, but 2 is just a good amount, in my opinion, of course. Others will disagree, but I honestly think TG Striker should come to 2, just because it's good and it combos really well with other decks, like this card and deck. The Agent of Mystery Earth. I believe this card should go back to 2, not 3, but 2, just because agents pretty much fell off the face of the earth once this card got limited. And I think if you were to semi-limit it, it would give agents much more of a chance, just because like you can search out your Venus's faster, and also it gives you another Hyperion target to banish in the grave, and Archlord Christia. It'll speed up the deck a lot, but not too much. I mean, I understand, yeah, that Shadows is at 1, and mainly most searching things are at 1s, but Machina Gear Frame's still at 3. There's a bunch of cards that summon search that are at 3. There's Geminites and what other? But there's like so many cards. They even bumped up Xian's Smoke Signal to 2. And it's, even though it's like level 3 or lower, those cards are the reason why 6-amps are good, because they make the bigger beat sticks. So if they want to limit Earth, they should pretty much just limit every other search card. E-Call is at 3. Like, really? E-Call into Shadows, into any E-Hero monster you want? If that's not broken, then I don't know what is. Of course, in today's meta, not back in the day when you could go Stratos into Mali, into Deidra, into E-Telly, into all that goodness. But yeah, I just think that Earth should get semi-limited, just because, agents, the only real thing that agents would win was in the OCG, and they only won Worlds by an OCG player. So here in the TCG, I think agents really need to see a good showing. I mean, it hasn't even won an event over here. Like, when they were at their prime, that's when plants were even better. And once plants died out, agents were hit, and then Dino Rabbit took over. Now Chaos Dragons and Zectors and Windups. So I just think that agents should get a little boost. Another card I want to talk about is Light Pulsar Dragon. This card is really good, really broken, especially if you have a Dark Engrave, and combos really well with Red Eye's Darkness Metal. And I think that they should semi-limit this, just because even if you ban Future Fusion, Chaos Dragons are still pretty good. So what I was thinking is that if you semi-limit this, it'll just, give them more room to try new things, and it won't be as broken when you mill like a light pulsar, and you can bring it back with Red Eye's Darkness Metal and have this infinite loop. So this card is really annoying too. I mean, there's not many cards that can cause this card to lose timing or miss its timing. But when you look at it, Light Pulsar is probably one of the only reasons why Chaos Dragons are even a good deck. So yeah, and what his best friend I also want to see semi-limited is Red Eye's Darkness Metal. I want to see this semi-limited just because of Gustav Max, the rank 10 exceed, because that is super broken. And I have a feeling like there's two of them, so if you were to banish one somehow, they'd be forced to play a Return from a Different Dimension or Escape from a Different Dimension and special summon it somehow from Remove from Play or Banish Zone. So if they don't have two of them, like in Heretics, if they don't have two Red Eyes Darkness Metal, then they can't go into Gustav Max. And it's pretty much saying that once you get rid of one, you no longer fear the Gustav Max anymore. But that's just my opinion on this card, and really, this is the only reason why dragons are good. This card should have been limited or semi-limited a long time ago. But, now dragons are like at its best, and I think it's time for them to finally hit this card. A synchro card that I would like to see come back to 2 would have to be Formula Synchron. With the death of plants, the death of Spore, and the death of Glow Up Bulb, it's harder to make this card. It's not as easy, but you can still make it. And honestly, I don't think this card is as broken as it used to be, because there used to be a bunch of Dandelion tokens and, level 1 tuners, but if you really look in the game now, what level 1 tuners are actually good and viable in plants, besides Effect Veiler and possibly Unknown Synchron? They also have those, I don't even know what they're called. I don't even know if they're tuners, but those bases. The drums thingy, I have one in my binder, but it's like the drums or the piano or one of them, drums or guitar, basses, I think. But yeah, honestly, those are the only way you can make this card, and I think it should come up to 2. Let it breathe a little. And plus, they just reprinted in Gold Series as a gold, but I still think the French Ultra or German Ultra, whatever it is, still looks nicer. But yeah, I would love to see this card at 2. Let plants and synchro decks live, You don't see the death of fusions, kind of. And you don't want to see the death of synchros. But yeah. And the last card I would like to talk about is Black Whirlwind. Blackwings have not been relevant for over the past year and a half to 2 years. And people were saying that you should semi-limit Kalut, semi-limit Gale, but those cards are broken in their own matter. I just feel like if they were to bring back Kalut to 2, bring back Honest. No, I'm kidding. Because Honest is way broken in any situation than Kalut. But also, just because Blackwings have that new card coming out that's kind of like a Kalut, except I think they only lose, or their opponent only loses like 600 damage. I don't know. 600 life or attack points. It's really not as good as Kalut, but Kalut's really good. And this card is the card that generates pluses, but the monster has to stay on the field. So if you were to bottle Mr. Sirocco or the Shura or their, Bora, they don't get to search. So with this at 2, they can generate pluses, but they can only do so much with their pluses, And I just think Black Whirlwind deserves to be back at 2. Just to give Blackwings a little push, but not too much, But yeah, that's part 3. I hope you guys enjoyed. my semi-limited list. You guys can go. Feel free to discuss this in the comments if anyone ever does comment. And if you do, thank you. Um, I'll be having another duel posted up soon, and part 4, which would be the unlimited list, and part 5, honorable mention, hopefully before the ban list leaks, Jesus Christ, leaks. Because the ban list will probably leak within 2 weeks time, and by then, it's out already. I can't make these quote-unquote predictions. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and yeah, Base God and Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm out. Bye! Oh, and there's the ice cream man if you hear it. Alright, bye guys.